Once upon a time, while the Buddha resided at the Jetavana monastery in Savatthi, a story unfolded that carried a valuable lesson. This tale revolves around Devadatta, a figure whose actions and choices served as a reminder of the importance of purity and integrity. In the bustling city of Rajagaha, nestled amid the hills, the two chief disciples of the Buddha, Venerable Sariputta and Venerable Mahamoggallana, made a journey from Savatthi. Their arrival was met with warm hospitality as the people of Rajagaha invited them, along with their 1,000 followers, for a morning meal. As an act of generosity, someone handed over a piece of cloth worth a substantial sum, 100,000 in value, to the organizers of this alms-giving ceremony. The instructions were clear. If there were any shortage of funds for the event, they should sell this cloth and utilize the proceeds. Alternatively, if there were no such shortfall, they were to offer it to a deserving bhikkhu. However, as fate would have it, there was no shortage of any resources for the ceremony. The cloth, therefore, was to be presented to one of the senior bhikkhus, known as Theras. Among these, Theras was Devadatta, who happened to be a permanent resident of Rajagaha. Without delay, Devadatta transformed the valuable cloth into robes, adorning himself with them. He paraded about with an air of self-importance, displaying his newfound attire. However, this act of wearing robes intended for those who were truly deserving raised eyebrows among the bhikkhus in Rajagaha. News of Devadatta's actions eventually reached the ears of the Buddha, and a concerned bhikkhu from Rajagaha visited Savatthi to pay homage to the enlightened one. He shared with the Buddha the story of Devadatta and the robe, emphasizing the exorbitant value of the cloth, which was worth 100,000. In response, the Buddha calmly acknowledged that this was not the first time Devadatta had donned robes that he did not rightfully deserve. He then began to recount a story from the distant past, shedding light on Devadatta's actions and their karmic implications. In a previous life, Devadatta had been an elephant hunter, navigating the dense forests in pursuit of his prey. In one particular forest, a sizable herd of elephants resided. Curiously, Devadatta noticed that these elephants exhibited great reverence when encountering paccekabuddhas, individuals who, like the Buddha, were self-enlightened but lacked the capacity to teach others. Driven by a desire to exploit this reverence, Devadatta devised a plan. He stole a part of a yellow robe, which represented the attire of a revered ascetic, and draped it over his body and hand. Armed with a spear, he positioned himself along the path the elephants typically followed. As the elephants approached, they knelt before Devadatta, mistaking him for a paccekabuddha and offering their obeisance. Unbeknownst to them, they had fallen into a perilous trap. Day after day, Devadatta took advantage of their trust, hunting and killing one elephant after another. Among this herd, the Bodhisattva, who would eventually become the Buddha, served as the leader. Witnessing the dwindling numbers of his fellow elephants, he decided to investigate the matter. With keen awareness, he joined the end of the line, poised for any threat. When Devadatta's spear came dangerously close, the Bodhisattva acted swiftly. He seized Devadatta with his powerful trunk, ready to slam him to the ground. However, something caught the Bodhisattva's eye. The yellow robe draped over Devadatta's form. In that moment, he recognized that this was a deception. Instead of carrying out a vengeful act, the Bodhisattva chose compassion. He spared Devadatta's life, an act of mercy that stood in stark contrast to Devadatta's malicious intent. Devadatta's actions, both in his past life as the elephant hunter and in his present life as a bhikkhu, highlighted a recurring pattern of unworthiness. The Buddha used this tale to emphasize the importance of purity and integrity when donning the yellow robe and accepting the responsibilities of a bhikkhu. In response to this story, the Buddha conveyed his wisdom through verses, highlighting the qualities that make one truly worthy of the yellow robe. He declared that a bhikkhu must be free from moral defilements, possess restraint in their senses, and speak the truth to merit the honor of wearing the robe.
Verse 9. He who is not free from taints of moral defilements, kilesas, and yet dons the yellow robe, who lacks restraint in his senses and speaks not the truth, is unworthy of the yellow robe. Verse 10. He who has discarded all moral defilements, kilesas, who is established in moral precepts, is endowed with restraint and speaks the truth, is indeed worthy of the yellow robe. With the conclusion of this discourse, many bhikkhus attained the esteemed state of Sotapatti Fruition, marking their progress on the path to enlightenment. This story serves as a timeless reminder of the significance of purity, integrity, and moral conduct in the life of a bhikkhu. Devadatta's actions, both past and present, underscore the enduring importance of these qualities for those who choose to walk the path of the yellow robe, dedicating themselves to wisdom, compassion, and spiritual growth. So as we reflect upon the story of Devadatta, may we all find inspiration in the pursuit of purity, integrity, and truth on our own unique journeys.